What chapter is Trippie in? I think this chapter is more so like closing in on new heights. Like, I feel like, I've been climbing up a ladder this whole time, and now I'm at the top of the ladder, and now it's a staircase. I'm just walking up the staircase. It's like, I improve, you feel me? I ain't gotta do too much arm and leg work. I'm just, footing it up the steps.
Being a fan of Trippie Redd, it can have its ups and it can have its downs.
Trippie Redd live, and it was a zero-tenths experience.
But there's no denying his talent and impact he has on the music culture, whether you like him or not. And for these past 5 and 6 years, he's proved that time after time again. But currently, right now, 2023, Trippie's in a weird state in his career, and many of his fans, including me, is questioning his desire for music. Trippie's catalog is unmatched compared to his SoundCloud peers, which is both good and a bad thing, cause you have some like X, Juice WRLD, Lil Uzi, and Playboi Carti, where they have back-to-back classic albums, diamond certified songs, and music that literally changed the culture, which impacted the next generation, while his other peers like Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, and 6ix9ine were all seen as a gimmick, whose careers were all based off of antics, only caring about being talked about on the internet, rather than focus on putting out good music. And as you can see, none of their careers had any longevity. But my whole point in saying all that, I put Trippie Redd somewhere in the middle in between them two groups, where I feel like he's the lone wolf and he could be put into both, cause he arguably doesn't have multiple classic albums, nor is his influence really affected music, but you can also say his music has substance to it, so that's why I really want to put him in the same box as a Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, and 6ix9ine. And I feel like for most rap fans, it's split in the middle when it comes to the opinions of Trippie Redd. Either you really like his music, or his music is not for you, and I get that, cause he'll make one 10 out of 10 album like Life's a Trip, where he hones in on his unique voice with beautiful melodies, while harmonizing love ballads on trap beats with a couple of rage songs too, to then having another album like Exclamation Mark, where it sounds like while making this project that he got all the energy and soul sucked out of him while only having like 3 days to record it. And then on the next project, he'll make an album like A Love Letter to You 4, where he had hits on hits on hits full of diversity, and the project overall having a complete theme to it while sounding good but at the same time making sense. To then on the next album like Pegasus, where it don't even sound like a full Trippie Redd album, but more so a compilation project with everybody and their mama being featured on it, and having a lot of throwaways and mid guest appearances on there, not to mention that he would make the project over 26 songs long, and he really just had the audacity to think that many people was gonna like this project, and we wasn't gonna look at him sideways for doing that. And that's just really my main point. Trippie, he just goes all over the place when it comes to his music catalog, and there's many times when it seems like that he's confused as an artist overall. One moment it seems like that he's working on love and pain music for his A Love Letter to You 5 project, then in the next he'll just drop a surprise rage album out of nowhere just cause the sound is trendy for a lot of underground artists and they're really riding that wave. But Trippie, he really need to just take some time off and go back to the drawing board, cause fans like me is slowly getting more and more irritated about the music that he's dropping, and our promising potential that we have for Trippie is fading away.
More and more I listen to Trippie Redd, the less and less I like the records. But I still love the dude. Like Trippie Redd himself, as someone who's loved his records, Love Scars, 1400, 999, Freestyle, I Tried Lovin', a bunch of records off of the more recent A Love Letter to You 4. There's just been so much about Trippie Redd that I've liked over the past couple years, and I just hate saying that I'm a fan of Trippie Redd while at the same time trashing almost every record that he's most recently put out.
When I heard Life's a Trip, A Love Letter to You 3, his first Love Letter to You, his A Love Letter to You 4, they all had a uniqueness about them similar to what X and Juice had, but not necessarily quite at the mark that their albums reach. And I said to myself, just give him some more time, he's gonna reach that level sooner or later. This dude's gonna change music cause he just brings something different to the table. But sadly, even in 2023, that haven't been the case at all. And in fact, in my opinion, he's regressed a lot when it came to his albums. Trip at Night and Mission Music were the product of Trippie Redd riding the wave of hyperpop and rage beats that artists like Playboi Carti, Yeat, Ken Carson, Destroying Lonely, they all popularized that sound, and you could tell that Trippie Redd was influenced by them if anything, cause it's not like he just put 1 or 2 rage or hyperpop songs on the project. He practically made them his full album from start to finish, and the repetitivity was just on another level. I feel like due to the deaths of X and Juice WRLD played a part in Trippie Redd's identity crisis in music. It's not a coincidence that since both of them been gone, Trippie Redd really hasn't dropped a good project or has been revered musically by rap fans like he used to, and it make total sense. X and Juice were his peers, like he would say out of his own mouth, and maybe since they're gone, he doesn't have that push or drive to keep elevating his own music.
Everybody from my era is gone. They all passed away. Everybody that was, you know, coming from the time period I came from, I was the last one. They was kind of before me, but, you know, it's all the same era. It was the sad music. It's kind of like very like upsetting, depressing, disappointing. Like, yeah, it kind of took a big toll on me though, because it was just like those were people I could call and talk to, and, you know, they would really relate to me versus anybody else. Wise too, I feel like we were all tapped in with each other as far as the music, and we got to, you know, learn from each other too, because we were all a part of the same wave. So now I don't hear any type of music like that other than if I do it.
But currently right now, as a Trippie Redd fan, we're all waiting for his highly anticipated A Love Letter to You 5 project, and usually I would be very optimistic about this album, but I really don't know what it's gonna sound like this time around. His peers that he competed with, that he uses motivation, ain't here. He's in love, he's not going through a heartbreak, and basically his last couple projects have been mid. This A Love Letter to You 5 project is probably his make or break one for a lot of hip hop fans, or more so just casual fans of Trippie, not necessarily the hardcore ones, cause they gon' ride for Trippie no matter what and sit up here and say that his last 3 projects were fire, even though I think they were mid, but that's just my opinion, and it probably not even gonna agree with a lot of things that I said in this video, but hey, I'm just saying how I really feel about Trippie's music for these past couple years. He ain't really delivered since A Love Letter to You 4, which is over 3 years ago, and I feel like for an artist like Trippie, maybe from now on, he should wait about a year or 2 before he drop another project, cause he's proven that he's not that type of artist where he should drop every 6 months. Even though this most recent album mentioned music, it still was over a year and a half since he released the project, and it still ended up being mid, so Trippie, he just need to go back to the drawing board and really focus on this A Love Letter to You 5 album, cause if this project ends up being trash, I don't know, how's he gonna recover from that? But y'all go in the comments, let me know how y'all feel about everything I said. Do you agree with me on a lot of points I said or not? If you don't, please tell me why. Don't just be in the comments and be like, oh yeah, you're wrong about this whole video. Like, no, let me know what you disagree with me about. That way I can understand your opinion from your standpoint. But yeah, do you think Trippie Redd has an identity crisis and A Love Letter to You 5 is this make or break album right here? Or you feel like, man, Trippie is good, he don't got nothing to worry about, he's still gonna be here in the years to come regardless? Y'all let me know, comment, share, like the video, subscribe. Have a nice day.